Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany and I have got a lot to share with you today. I finally got to go to the one and only Tarot Reader Studio in New York. I am home now. I'm recording this on Tuesday, so I'm going to be doing a Reader Studio 2018 wrap-up video, just give you a bit of an idea of the event and my experience of the event and everything like that. I have a massive haul to go over with you as what happens with these conferences, and also share a little bit about my personal travelogue about my first trip to New York. This was the first time I've ever been to New York and the first time I've ever been to the Reader Studio. So I am very, very excited. So the Reader Studio is in New York, and it is hosted by the incredible, kind and generous Walt and Ruth Ann Amberstone, and it was just an amazing experience. I have written a lot of notes, so you're going to see me looking up and down. I just want to make sure I cover everything. A lot happens over the 4 days of the conference, so I want to make sure I get every piece of the information over to you that I scripted. Not only, like I said, was this the first time I've been to the Reader's Studio, but it was also my first time to New York City, and I cannot wait to go back. I landed in JFK and I was in the line to get a cab, and I was already like, I think I'm going to be in love with this city. I can't wait to come back. I'm already planning another trip here. New York is pretty amazing. So I just wanted to, first of all, kind of gush a little bit about Walt and Ruth Ann. They are just the most divine creatures. I do not have enough words to describe how lovely these two individuals are. I wanted to go to the Reader Studio for years. I actually had a trip planned in 2015, soon after I moved here, but I had to cancel because of having my son. But so it was it felt like a really long time coming going to the Reader's Studio, and I finally got to meet these two generous, beautiful souls who love the tarot so much and who've given so much to the community and put on a phenomenal event. So big friggin' love to both of you. I cannot wait to see you again next year, and it was truly a pleasure to attend your conference this year. So the video today and the blog post over at ethany.com is going to be a bit of an overview of the event, a bit of my travelogue, and a goodie haul. And there's also a couple of announcements at the end. So if you're not a fan of more of my personal videos and haul videos, this may not be for you. But if you've ever thought about attending tarot conferences, especially the Reader Studio, then at least stick around for that part to see at least my reflections and experience on this particular amazing conference. I've already done one on the Northwest Tarot Symposium for this year. I'm very lucky that those two things I've been able to do back to back, so sharing another perspective, and it's on another coast as well. I'm going to put all of the links of the people and products that I talk about specifically, especially if they were presenting or I purchased or I got something from them, in the description below, because I do tend to forget to do that sometimes because it's just a lot of fiddly work, and over at ethany.com where my video transcription is for ease. And so with that, let's jump right in. So my week really didn't start until Wednesday due to traveling across the continent and also work deadlines. So I'm going to jump straight into Wednesday, even though I left Vancouver on Monday, because those 2 days were kind of down the rabbit hole of vortex-ness. I'm not going to get them back. And there was nothing really interesting happening but flying and working. So one of the amazing things, and one of my most favorite things about these events, besides having incredible experiences all around, is that you finally get to connect with people that you know and have been connected with online for years at these events. That is one of the pure joys of tarot conferences. They are like family reunions with people you actually want to spend time with. It is so great that you get to meet people that you have an instant connection with because you love the same thing and you've already kind of got to know them a little bit through the magic of the internet. So it's like you feel like you've come home very, very quickly. And one person that I was so excited to finally meet after knowing respecting and working with, and I can honestly say I feel like I'm also her friend, is Teresa Reed, the Tarot Lady. She has been and is still a source of inspiration, information, support, and wisdom for years for me, and I know many, many people in the tarot community. And she's also just incredible at what she does. She has fantastic ethics. She's a fellow Gemini, and we love many of the same things. We talk about Project Runway and RuPaul's Drag Race, and we click on a lot of levels. So I have a lot of big love for her, and I finally got to meet her face to face after all these years. I had a wonderful breakfast with her. If you've ever met like two Gemini, if you've ever seen like two Geminis meeting each other for the first time who kind of know each other, it's like the intense back and forth. Like we could talk all day. I know we could. So it was lovely to be able to have some one-on-one time with her, because there are so many people that Teresa knows. She's also, lived in New York for a very long time, so she had some really great information too. So it was well and truly overdue to meet her, but it was extremely worth the wait. So after breakfast, I was also lucky to meet up with a couple of fellow Canadians, or one/Englishman, but he's really Canadian. Laurie from Inner Goddess Tarot and her husband were very, very, very lovely to allow me to join them go downtown for from our hotel to go to the Met. I would have been so freaking lost. I've traveled the world on my own. I've been to many, many different places. I've been to Bangkok on my own and things like that. But the subway and transport system in New York, I can see would take getting used to. But I'm really glad we did take the subway. It is an iconic experience, and is very, very uniquely New York. We had some young dancers in our train doing performances in between stops, which felt very, very New York City, which was very cool. And after getting a little turnaround and a little lost, we arrived at our stop, and just walking past places such as like Bloomingdale's and seeing Central Park, even though it was a very small part of it, because we had to directly head to the Met, was just, it was mind-blowing. So I was one of the lucky people, and Laurie was too, who booked the Met session with the one and only Robert Place. I'm going to be leaning down. I've got decks. I've got stuff all around me, so I am going to duck off camera while I pick things up as I go. So we had we got to do this amazing experience with Robert Place. So we had a few hours to walk around, and I'm not kidding when I say you can spend a few days at the Met. It is just phenomenal, especially if you are the type of person who likes to read about every like little thing, and you want to read all the excerpts, or you want to have the virtual tour, the audio tour. You can literally spend days there. I absolutely loved it. In the main lobby, there is a beautiful statue of Athena. So she met me in the lobby, and I just like had a moment. Many of you who've been watching my channel for any amount of time know how much Athena means to me, and I loved the Greek Roman area and wanted to spend so much time in there, and the Egyptian wing, but I kind of had to race through a bit of it. But being such a huge mythology buff, like I knew certain statues just from the back of it, like knowing what Heracles looks like from the back with the lion headdress. And it was very cool to see some of the goddesses that we've been working with in the Awakened Soul Coven, like Hygeia. There was a statue of Hygeia there, and Sekhmet, and all these goddesses, obviously in the Egyptian wing. So I just love I'm a geek for all things mythology, and that the Met's right up my alley. So getting back to Robert Place. So Robert Place is a legend in the tarot world. If you've not read any of his books or have any of his decks and have an interest in tarot history, the history of cards in general, if you are interested in magic, mysticism, and you want to get a really good grasp of what the parts that make up this amazing tarot cocktail, I highly recommend his work. I have most of his works in my collection, in my bookshelf, including his decks. And I picked up another 2 on the weekend. And I feel like I can blame Robert Place for just solely being the one person that made my bag so heavy on the way home. Worth it. So I got the tarot. Look at this sucker. The Tarot Magic Alchemy Hermeticism and Neoplatism, and then I also got The Fool's Journey. Oh, that's the back. The Fool's Journey, The History, Art and Symbolism of the Tarot. They're both signed. Oh, yes, God. And like just, I mean, everything that he does is just such exquisite quality. And I am really looking forward to diving into, I mean, just so much information in these books. Yeah, I mean, not everyone is super interested in tarot history and things like that, but I am, being a mythology, a student of magic, a student of the tarot, and just a walking Hermione Granger. I'm just like, tell me more. And his tarot decks are incredible. I didn't get any of his decks because I have most of them, but I did get 2 of those. So as I mentioned, I'll put all the links in the description below and over at ethany.com. And what Robert offered to us at the Met was this incredible experience in the learning areas where we were able to see some of the oldest representations and earliest representations of the tarot that we have, that are over 1,000 years old. And I was this close, like I could get like right up close to these amazing, incredible pieces of art. Robert walked us through many examples and we got to see them under microscopes and move through different eras and do like French and German and all sorts of things like that. So these are really the building blocks and foundations for what many people, including myself and many of you watching, do as a passion and profession. So it was really, really mind-blowing, especially for the massive information geek that I am. And, you know, to top it all off, Robert placed, like when you meet people, like you hear, especially for me, being, I would say, a little bit, well, I'm definitely a little bit younger than Robert, but especially for me, like going, oh, you're going to go to this event and, you know, Robert Place is going to be there. And, you know, I know instantly who that is. And I was like a little bit like, I was a bit scared of like being a bit intimidating. Like I'm probably going to say something stupid in front of him, you know, all that kind of stuff. But he is just really one charming, funny, witty, lovely man. I feel really lucky to not only be able to go on the tour, but to meet someone and feel really welcomed into the community by someone who I deeply respect and have, you know, and to be able to have a laugh with and connect on a personal level. So that was definitely a highlight for me. So after the workshop with Robert, Laurie, Matt and I headed straight into Chinatown in Little Italy for dinner with a group of people. And then I had my first ever cannoli. It was so good. And then as we were sitting in the cafe, a lot of the other tarot lovelies from around the way joined us, like Gina Teese, Arwen, Katrina. So a lot of people came in as we were eating, and it was just really lovely to just kind of be in a little area and just see all these people that you know from the conference. And then I did a little bit of shopping because this was the only day I was going to get in the city, which is a real bummer. But I mean, I was there for the Reader Studio and I will be back to New York. And then we all took a bus back to the hotel. So that was really, really fun. And then like the work started. Thursday was the Tarot and Psychology Conference. And I've been unfortunately battling a head cold for over a week. So last year I was sick at Newts at the Northwest Tarot Symposium, and this year it was a Reader Studio. This year at Newts I was like super fine. I was like not sick at all. I felt great. And this year at the Reader Studio I was battling it. I was feeling pretty like I was, you know, when you're like, oh, I know this is coming kind of thing. So I was already really starting to feel the drain on my energy system, but I wanted to get as much out of the weekend as I possibly could too. So the first presenter was Ellen Goldberg, who did an amazing talk on the archetype of the major arcana for personal growth. And it was just fantastic. I really love Ellen's approach. She's just, I just wanted to dump her brain's contents into my head. And there's just so much information that she shared with us. So that was an incredible talk. And then Jenny Suzumoto presented next on tarot and healing. So she was talking about going from desolation to celebration, and that was really great, but I only made it through over half of the talk when I got a horrible headache, and I was about to pass out at my table, so I went back to my room and had a nap. Well, more to the point, my body forced me to have a nap. So I did do that, and I unfortunately missed the rest of the day, which is a shame. but I did crawl out of bed and managed to go downstairs for a couple of hours to the welcome drinks before I had to bow out again. But the welcome drinks was a lovely way to say hello to everyone and in a social context. And so Friday is when the Reader's Studio officially starts, and you're welcomed into it with a ritual led by Ruth Ann, and then where there's a beautiful ritual of welcoming in the energy and the wisdom of the tarot. And then we start off with our foundation readings, where I got to sit with the lovely Jenna Matlin from the Queen of Wands Tarot. And this is another person that I've known for years. I know her as a friend, and I know that she knows what she's doing, but there is something so incredible about watching your peers, and she's a real deal. Read the cards the way that they do, the energy that they pull in, the consideration, how they do things. It's such an amazing thing to see other people work and do that, because it is such an art form. And so I really loved being able to finally get a reading from her, and do a reading for her and see her work. That was really awesome. So there are 3 main presenters every Reader's Studio, and I was very lucky to be able to interview Benabel Wen about her, a few things about her, and then what her lecture was going to be, or workshop. And I adore her. I mean, if you know me, then you know that I adore Benabel Wen. So nothing made me happier than to be able to talk to her. And this was also the time that each of the presenters shared what they were going to talk about over the weekend. So it was an announcement for the whole room, so it was kept as a surprise, which was pretty rad. And can I just say, we had for my first Reader's Studio, I can't believe the lineup that I got to see. We had Mary K. Greer, Benabel Wen, and Rachel Pollack. I mean, come on. Spoiled. We were so lucky. It was just like, I can't believe all this awesomeness in one room. So that was, pretty phenomenal. So on the Friday, Mary K. Greer presented her lecture, workshop, presentation on the tarot symbol work and intuitive training. And that was just, I mean, I could just listen to her talk all day about the tarot. Actually, I could probably listen to most people talk all day about the tarot. Kind of a little bit of a junkie. And this offering from Mary was where we got to really focus on one symbol on the card and do a bunch of operations and exercises and see how it connects to other cards, our lives, our memories, and intuitive readings. And we found out, I'm gonna go out of camera again. We found out that that Mary K. Greer is working on a book called Pamela Coleman Smith, The Untold Story. It's going to be with, I hope you guys can see that because I can't really. And it's going to be out from US Game Systems, which is pretty rad. So yeah, we got this. I'm very excited about that because obviously I'm a very big fan of the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, and so I'm going to be definitely getting that. It looks pretty amazing. So after having a beautiful download with Mary K. Greer and her talk, I did have to bow out of the workshop by Carrie Paris and Gina Teese's showcase of the Tarot of the Moors, which I have pre-ordered, which you should be pre-ordering because it looks amazing, which was a shame because I wasn't feeling well. And I also opted out of doing any additional readings or doing all the workshops at night because there are electives outside of my normal workload, because I'm already way behind on my readings. I'm going to be apologizing to my clients forever on that. I'm already way behind and I was very tired and recovering. But if you do, I'm saying this because if you do intend to come to the Reader's Studio any year in the future, there are study groups, workshops, private readings on top of a jam-packed schedule. There is really so much on offer. You get so much more than your money's worth during this weekend. It's mind-blowing. You also take home a lot of stuff. Between giveaways, prizes, vendors, and really readers being generous, the swap table, and the incredible market fair, it's just the most deliciously tempting place that I've ever been. And I'm glad I took 2 suitcases because I needed it on the way home. I got a lot of stuff. And so if you do want to go, know that this is an intensive weekend. It is a phenomenal weekend. You do get every penny worth of the investment to go. But you'll also be going home with a lot of stuff if you're anything like me. Like, I don't buy a lot of stuff for myself on the regular, but if I go to something like this or Newts, or I go to an event, I'm very happy to spend my money on the vendors and the people who were there. So then we come into Saturday, and that is for sure the Energizer Bunny Duracell battery, let's get this kind of going endurance day. I had a lot of coffee that day. I felt like I was buzzing. And the other thing with conferences, especially with these kinds of conferences, I find that the energy in the room is so massive because you're in the room with these incredible people, these intellectual, magical, intuitive, inspiring, high vibe fuckers who are just, I can't believe I just said that word, high vibe, amazing people. Things are bound to be really, really intense, but in a really, really good way. So Saturday morning, V led a morning discussion over breakfast on the old and the new guard of tarot, and like what we're taking, what the old and the new, and melding the worlds in, and what does our foundation and what does our legacies look like, and what are we doing in the new wave of tarot. And this was just another tarot member that I've wanted to meet. V and I've been, again, connected on Facebook for a while, and she's just amazing. And the breakfast talk was so informative and inspiring. And it's great to see that the tarot community, just from my perspective, is still so open to, I don't want to say like change, but yes, I guess change, but evolving and open to each other, and, you know, to things being different and us all doing things in different ways. That was a really, really cool chat. And then it was Benabel Wen's turn to take the main stage, where she talked about using the tarot to connect with and work with ancestors and past life memory recall. And it was nothing short of spectacular. I mean, I expect nothing less from her. And I had some really personal and touching experiences with her workings and offerings, especially with the operations of working with your ancestors. It was quite powerful, and I know a lot of people had some very powerful, very emotional interactions with her work, and it was pretty great. Now, I know I'm kind of going through this very quickly, otherwise I would be here for 6 weeks talking about this, but I wanted to make sure I move through it enough, because I'm already at the 20-minute mark and I'm not even halfway through. I felt pretty low down, like a bit sick again, so I had to nap and miss Tony Poole's talk on the Kipper cards. But I do have I did get her stuff. So this is her deck. It's a modern one, and obviously I'm not doing an unboxing today, but I did get her Kipper set, and I can't wait to walk you through all this. She's a lovely member of the tarot community. Really, really excited. As I said, I'll pop everything in the description below for where you can see her work. But I did get her set, and I also got a scarf, but I don't know the reading cloth, but I don't know where I popped it. It's probably where the rest of my scarves are. So that was great, but I had to miss that, which was a bit of a shame. Then Rachel Pollack took the main stage, the one and only, and the only thing I'm really bummed about is that I didn't get her to sign my book. I forgot it. I was going to take it, but I actually forgot this. I mean, this is like the 1997 version, sorry. So this is, I really wanted her to sign it. Next time, Rachel, next time I'll hunt you down, who is another one of our living legends in tarot. She was our final main stage talk for the Reader's Studio. And Rachel asked us, what is the tarot for? And we went right back into kind of like really fundamental discussions about the tarot. It was really great to look at all the aspects of the tarot, and she offered some amazing spreads to do to work with the tarot in very different ways. Yeah, I mean, she's such a pro, and she's just such a lovely, inspiring woman. And then Saturday night, you have the dinner, banquet, dress and dance. I loved the banquet. So many photos. I've got so many selfies, tarot selfies, which I love. And so many people looked utterly incredible. I had to fly out Sunday afternoon straight after my last little thing I was doing. So I went back and I packed, and then I didn't really have the time. But next year I'm going to make sure I stay an extra day just so I don't have to like freak out and pack and leave straight away, so I can get dressed up. So you have it from me here, from anyone who like is going to be there next year, that I said on camera, I'm on the record that I was going to dress up. So you'll hold me to that. And that was really, really fun. I mean, again, any time I feel like I can sit in the presence of people that I have met online. Oh my gosh, I didn't put that in there. Shireen from the Mystic Nomads or Lunar Nomads Oracle, who I got to meet. I got to sit with Arwen Lynch. I got to sit with Joanna Colt-Howard from the Gaian Tarot. I just said her name wrong, but sorry. So to any time you get to sit with these people is just incredible, and in a social kind of aspect, in a social way, is also pretty amazing. So that was really fun. I didn't go to the dance, but I did hear a lot of people had a lot of fun. And they do offer a really good little party. So next year it'll be me. I'll be up on the dance floor. So Sunday morning, bright and early, we had a breakfast buffet roundtable with the one and only Jamie Elford from the Triple Goddess Tarot. She created that deck. And she was talking about the deck of changes and how the tarot can be used, if you choose to do so, to help change the world, and if we want to do that as roles as tarot readers. So not only was it great to get some pancakes in my face, but it was also really great to sit and have that conversation again with like-minded people. Then there were a bunch of incubators. So on every table there was a different theme, and I was very lucky that Gail and the crew who from the Tarot School who hosts the Reader Studio allowed me to host an incubator. My topic was self-publishing and crowdfunding your deck, and I hope it was useful for those who could ask me questions. And I talked a little bit about the different crowdfunding platforms, because I've used Indiegogo, I've used Kickstarter, and I've also self-funded my own decks, different printing processes, how to get people behind your decks, all the things like that. So I hope it was really helpful. And because I know what it's like to like risk to put out the work in the world and not really be sure what's going to come back, but it was really great. And thank you to everyone who came and sat around that table with me. It was really rad. And then after that, I was lucky to showcase my Bad Bitches Tarot in another section, and I was honored to be able to do that too. I just talked about my inspiration for the deck, how it came about, the story of that deck, which is also on YouTube. And then I had to say goodbyes straight after that and head to the airport to catch my flight. Sunday didn't really feel like it happened because it was such a freaking blur, and I didn't get home until like 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday. But I for anyone who travels a lot, and I travel a lot, I've traveled a lot and I travel a lot and I love it. I'm a Gemini, like just give me the plane ticket and see you later. A little different now that I have a child, but I love traveling. It's just sort of like, it feels like a little bit of a blur. And so I know I'm going to miss people in this section, and I'm so sorry if I forget to individually thank everyone who made the weekend so utterly magical. So Diana Hendel, who is currently working on a Star Wars tarot, made my jaw drop when she offered this crystal ball in exchange for a deck that I was more than happy to just give her. So I finally have a legit one, which is something else. Hey, it's freaking amazing, and I'm so glad it got home in one piece too. So thank you to Diana Hendel, and I hope that you share your artwork for your Star Wars tarot with everyone moving forward too. So that was quite, I came back from she said, oh, would you like a crystal ball? I'm like, sure. I thought it was going to be like, small, because it was a tarot deck I was giving her. And this was on my table, and I was like, are you sure? I was like gobsmacked. So, thank you. The lovely Liz Westwater gifted me this lovely set of body goodies from her business, West Star Herbs. And the link is in the description below. I've got face cream, a travel spray, you know me, I love me my sprays, and clean hands. So Liz and I have known each other for a while on the intertubes, so it was really lovely to meet her for the first time and connect with her in a personal way. Again, a massive thank you to Walt and Ruth Ann in the incredible team. What a freaking team. Like everyone who volunteered, everyone, yeah, they were just amazing for an amazing weekend. It's going to be very hard to wait another whole year to go back and visit this space and people again, even if we may not be in the same hotel, but just the space that's created for all of us is something else. You know, everyone knocked it out of the park. I don't know everyone's names off the top of my head because I'm an asshole. I'm not, but like, thank you, like, you know, to everyone I said hello to. Thank you to new friends for being so open and lovely and not minding at all that I'm a hugger. Thank you to everyone who came out and said hello, like who came to say hello to me, who took a photo with me, because I do love my tarot selfies, or one of my decks home, or all three. You really light up my world. Like, you really have no idea what it means to, most days I sit at home on my own and work. I'm a one-woman shop. I work from home most of the days. So to be able to really, and I'm a social creature, so to be able to go to something like that and just feel all the love, and it's really just, it makes my life, like it really does. So thank you to everyone, really, from the bottom of my freaking heart. So I'm also allowed to announce, finally, I got the call before I flew out, only a couple of days before I flew out, that I'm going to be presenting on the main stage at Reader Studio in 2019. I can't believe it. I was just like, are you, when I got the phone call, I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you're talking to the right person? I mean, yes, I will hella accept that, but I was just like gobsmacked. And I'm going to be joined by Sasha Graham from Diva Tarot. She's doing like a ton of stuff. She's doing I think it's the Haunted House Tarot as well. She's doing a tarot cooking thing at the moment. She's a force. She's just a force. And George Carolee, I hope I'm saying that right, George. George and I got to connect over the weekend. You are amazing. I can't wait to work with you. I want a reading with you. I mean, these are two incredible powerhouses in our industry. Who is going to be taking the main stage, and then there's me. So I'm slightly packing myself, but I'm very, very excited. And then next year, instead of having the tarot and psychology, we're doing a divination day on the Thursday with Carrie Paris, Rana George, and Heather. I can't remember their name, and I didn't write it down, and I wasn't there for the presentation. So those presenters are going to knock it out of the park. So I am so there for that day as well. I'm super excited. I can't wait. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm like crapping myself a little bit, but it's going to be so much fun. I'm trying to figure out to bring a little like Australiana to it. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I like fun. Hopefully there's some like inspiration and levity to the whole thing. I'm also going to be hosting some a giveaway. There are a few things from the Reader Studio that I like to pass on, because either I have duplicates or I was given some things. So make sure that you're a member of my little group on Facebook. I'll put the link below, the Tarot Readers Academy Facebook group, and I'll put it over at ethne.com so you'll know when this goes live. So two things that I know are already, well, I guess it's three, but two things that I know are already prizes that are going to go into the giveaway are US Game Systems is celebrating 50 years, and we got a little goodie bag. So one of the things we got in the goodie bag was this Silich Tarot in a tin, and you know, the tin ones are so great for traveling, and I already have a copy of this. I bought it at Newt's, so I am going to be giving this one away. It's going to be one of the prizes. I'm also going to be giving away a copy of the Magpie Oracle by Carrie Paris, and one of her beautiful divination, it's around the wrong way, divination cloths. Now this is a Lenormand or Lenormand style of charms, so that's really exciting. So there will be more. I just haven't gone through everything yet, so there will be more of that, so keep your eye out. So just another little note before I go into the rest of my haul. If you do want to go to the magical event in 2019, there is a Facebook group for the Reader's Studio that I would highly recommend that you join. Not only is it full of just amazing people, but you'll get an idea of how it works. There's payment plans. You can ask questions about the hotel. What do I need? What do I do? I mean, like the information pack that we got alone for the event really helped me orientate a lot of stuff. And then there are just, when you rock up, there's going to be an entire room full of people who are going to help you. That was lovely to see, like the feedback on the Facebook group of everyone just saying, it was my first time, I was really nervous, but everyone was like so amazing. And it's just like that makes my heart really happy, because they really, really are amazing. So I'll put the links down below and over on my site. So if you do want to go, you want to find out more, head over there, and then head over to the Tarot School, thetarotschool.com. But the links are also in their Facebook group. So the haul. On top of the things that I've just shown you, I also got the Breaking the Rules Tarot from the Tarot Garden. I haven't obviously unboxed this because I'm waiting to do that, but I just wanted to show you, and the link for the Tarot Garden is below. I also got Tarot Grand Lux, finally, from Chiro Marchetti. I have a lot of Chiro's decks, and I couldn't help myself. Like when I saw it, I was like, it shall be mine, and it was mine. So I'm going to unbox that one. I also got the Tarot Talismans, which is the Tarot, the Major Arcana, and the Suit Charm Oracle from Carrie Paris. And so I am going to show you these two in an unboxing. They'll be in separate unboxings, but I did also get that from the lovely and one and only Carrie Paris. I do have a massive pile of unboxings to do, from people sending me decks, from decks that I purchased, and from Newts, and now here. So I literally feel like I need to lock myself away for 5 days and do nothing but recording videos. That's how far behind I am. So please, please bear with me. I also picked up the Stretch Tarot from the swap table, so I'm pretty flippin' happy about that. I literally, whenever I go to these things, I like go through all my drawers, like I go through my books and my decks, and I just say, what do I want to pass on? And I think I put something like 7 or 8 decks on the table, and I only took one. So I'm glad that there are some decks out there in the world that were a part of my collection. So I got the Stretch Tarot, which I'm pretty happy about. So I'm pretty much, this is it, guys. That's all she wrote in regards to this event. It was amazing. It was phenomenal. I love nothing more than to go to these conferences. One of these days I'll get over to the UK too, but I just love the social aspect, and I love the learning aspect, and just the community that we have. I know I can't say enough about it, and the Amberstones just killed it this year. They smashed it. It was amazing. So if you're thinking about going to the Reader's Studio next year, I cannot endorse this highly enough. Thank you also to Farrell. Thank you so much. You have been, can't believe I forgot to thank you. You have been amazing. I have been annoying her over Facebook Messenger, and she supported my work, and I just freaking love you. I'm so glad I got to give you a big hug. So thank you, Farrell, as well. You are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. If you're coming to the Reader's Studio in 2019, I will see your hot ass there. And I can't wait to rock it, hopefully, on the main stage, and see all my friends, new and old, again in New York. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week.